Are you a teacher looking for more rigorous activities to use with your gifted and talented students in the classroom? Then the Priority Ladder is just for you. The Priority Ladder is a critical thinking tool that aids students thinking about complex issues and allows them to put multiple causes into a sequence of least to greatest importance. This is a great tool to use in your classroom with your gifted and talented students, both individually and as a whole group. What makes the Priority Ladder so great for our gifted and talented kids, you ask? It challenges students to evaluate different concepts, uses, and outcomes of a topic. It also requires students to analyze decisions and justify their reasoning behind the order. Finally, it allows students to engage in collaboration and further explain and advocate for their stance on a topic. Here are some ways to use a Priority Ladder within your classroom. In reading, you can have the students evaluate the characters within a novel study. Which character is the best, all the way down to which character is the worst, and explain why. In writing, you can have your students create a narrative from the point of view of a secondary character within a novel. Which secondary character has the most to offer for a new narrative? Finally, if you participate in STEM activities in your classroom, have your students analyze which supplies are needed to complete this activity. Why and how can they be used? Use these steps to implement the Priority Ladder in your classroom. First, choose a topic for your students to analyze and evaluate. Provide them a graphic organizer that has the ladder attached to it. This will give the students some space to rank all of their ideas. Number 2, allow time for students to list the factors from least to greatest or greatest to least. Finally, students will provide a justification on how and why the factors were ranked the way they were. Allow time afterwards as well for your students to collaborate and talk amongst themselves to understand each other's opinions. In my 3rd grade classroom, my students used the Priority Ladder within their writing. My students researched the European explorers and then created a Priority Ladder to determine which European explorer was the best. They came up with their own grading criteria, such as finding land, studying for voyaging, finding treasure, and others. And then they ranked these explorers on a scale of 3, 2, 1. They calculated their scores at the bottom, which helped them prioritize which European explorer was the greatest. I believe the Priority Ladder is a great strategy to implement with your gifted and talented students because it allows them to use the higher levels of Bloom's taxonomy within their work. It allows them to analyze, evaluate, and create using this ladder. Their justifications also provide an open dialogue with their peers and teachers. This strategy is wonderful for the use in your classroom with gifted and talented students. What are you waiting for? You have everything you need to implement the Priority Ladder in your classroom today.